It's March 6, 2004. I'm talking to you from the belly of the beast. This is Chief Maku, Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle of the Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. Chief Maku, Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle of the Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. Registered number 208-1999. I'm also known as Dr. Malachi Z. York. March 5th, 2004, speaking to you from the belly of the beast. My name is Maku, Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle, also known as Dr. Malachi Z. York L. The Chief of Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, registry number 208-1999. Registry number 208-1999. Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle, also known as Dr. Malachi Z. York L. The Chief of Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, registry number 208-1999. But they don't never mention Yammassee Native American Moors. But they don't never mention Yammassee Native American Moors, which is registered by the state, registered in the United Nations, is registered in Geneva, is registered at the Bureau of Indian Affairs, is registered worldwide. Yammassee Native American Moors is a tribe, and I am the chief of that tribe, and it's on record. And I am the chief of that tribe, and it's on record. And I am the chief of that tribe, and it's on record. This tape is being made January 1st, 2004, while still incarcerated in Jones County Jail, right? Awaiting to be transferred to Brunswick to start trial on January the 5th. This is Maku, Chief Black Thunderbird, Chief of Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, registry number with the Bureau of Indian Affairs 208/1999. Registry number with the Bureau of Indian Affairs 208/1999. Registry number with the Bureau of Indian Affairs 208/1999.
News. What is the state of your tribe?
The tribe got so much going on. I mean, it's amazing. We got documents all over the world now. We got documents all over the world now. We got documents all over the world now. People from all over the world are becoming conscious that this is real. We did a family chart, like I said. We had an outside genealogist who was a specialist. He was a family chart for my family, for me, my sister, brothers, all the way back to Ben York of Lewis and Clark expedition, all the way back to his father, who was a Malian Moor. Right? All that's been traced. We have the Native American side of my family was here, and the ones that came in as Moors. That's why we call ourselves Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. We have the Native American side of my family was here, and the ones that came in as Moors. That's why we call ourselves Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. We have the Native American side of my family was here, and the ones that came in as Moors. That's why we call ourselves Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. But we are Yammassee Native Americans first, and some of the Moors came over here and mixed in with us. So our tribe is on the ball. The tribe got all kinds of things going on right now. They got documents out, letters circulating in the world. They're being translated to every language right now, and we've definitely got a response. We got the verification of our jurisdiction status beyond a shadow of doubt. We got the verification of our jurisdiction status beyond a shadow of doubt. We got the verification of our jurisdiction status beyond a shadow of doubt. The state has no jurisdiction and never did over any of us. In this case, we're all part of that tribe legally.
Right.
But his name and family is registered as on the roster of our tribal members.
So as an indigenous person, you are claiming your indigenous status.
My indigenous status is Native American. That's right. I'm claiming it.
You have only this.
All right, well, to know that I'm a Native American. Yammassee. I'm the chief of Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. Our land stems from Alabama to the tips of North Carolina, all the way down to the tips of Florida, straight on across the savannah. That is our land.
What was your reason for moving to Georgia?
Well, actually, we moved back down to Georgia because this is where our roots are. Our family is Griffin, Georgia, for one. Out of Georgia, all the way up to as far from Virginia, from South Carolina to Virginia, all the way up to through New York, with the Shinnecock, and all the way to the Pico, and as far as Massachusetts. Massachusetts Indians, where a lot of our families settled. But our original roots we knew was down south in Georgia, at a place called Altamaha, right? And I always longed to come back home. So when I finished my retirement in New York in 1988, I moved upstate. I encountered so much. The weather was so harsh in upstate New York. It was like freezing up there in the Catskill Mountains. I couldn't live with that weather, so I told Kathy Johnson, let's find a place back down where our roots are. So we found out that Rock Eagle Mound was there. So we said, let's get somewhere near Rock Eagle, because my name was given me by my great grandmother, Black Eagle, because my name was given me by my great grandmother, Black Eagle, because my name was given me by my great grandmother, Black Eagle, which is Black Thunderbird. And we wanted to be near our own tribal ancestors, the old ones. So we moved down here. I moved out to
United Nubian Nation of Moors? What is the United Nubian Nation of Moors? What is the United Nubian Nation of Moors?
Well, United Nubian Nation of Moors is a collaboration of all the different organizations that were talking about liberating themselves. It involved people that are Hebrew Israelites, involved people that are black Muslims, about 5%ers, garden goddesses, even Islamic Hebrews, Ansar, Nation of Islam is correct, Egyptologists, African, Yoruba, everybody, it was like a place where a nation set up United Nubian Nation of Moors, right? The word united is self-explanatory. Like I said before, I will not give you all the meaning of Nubian because they keep using it. I'm one day going to put them on the spot and ask them what does it mean, right? So United Nubian Nation is obvious, and Moors, Morenos, which is a Latin word meaning dark skin or brown, as opposed to the word negros, which also means black. So it's talking about a group of people who came from Morocco and here and settled here and mixed in with the Indians who were here already, which is us. Developed.
Yes.
Combine all of that to make it like a unity amongst everybody.
Okay, now are you indeed the leader? Are you indeed the leader? Are you indeed the leader of the United Nubian Nation?
No, I'm not a founder of the Nubian.
Of the United Nubian Nation?
No, I'm not a founder of the Nubian.
Of the United Nubian Nation?
No, I'm not a founder of the Nubian. That's another hoax, an ideal for Mr. Howard Richard Seals and more slander and defamation of character, by the way. I'm not the leader. They look on.
Right.
We will fight them to the end.
Right.
We're fighting for our rights and for our justice as Native Americans. I'm a Native American. State of Georgia has no jurisdiction over me. I'm a Yammassee chief. They have no rights over me whatsoever. If all of us, so that's a big hoax there. That'll be exposed, and then we'll move on with the federal who has no rights over me. We were here before they set up. We were colonists. We was in this country before they came. They have already proved in Brazil, scientists have dug up the notes and did the research and found that the original people in this land, North America, were not Mongoloid, but were Negroids, the Olmecs originally, and that the Mongoloids came later with a man called Hushan, or what they call the Z tribe, XI tribe, and then they mixed in with us. And then Africans were brought here through slave trade, and then they mixed in with us. So we have the Yammassee, the Creeks, the Seminole, the Shinnecock, the Cherokee. There's quite a few tribes. The Iroquois, the Arawak, in the Caribbean they call them Arawaks, they call them Caribbeans. They moved down to Barbados, they went into Jamaica, they was in Brazil, as the Maroons, they was in Haiti. We moved all over the place. So, but this tribe here, that I'm the chief of, Georgia, is our base from here straight up to Massachusetts, was our land. From the Massachusetts Indian to the Yammassee Native American, the Creek, or what we call Bali or Gwali, which is another word we use, Geechees, which is you find in Savannah, Augusta, you find them in Brunswick, you find them all throughout Milledgeville, Putnam, Bowen, Jones, all in this whole area where all the mounds are. And the Washita tribe mixed in with us along the way. We are the original. Yammassee, also spelled Yammassee, right? And that's a black tribe that was here before the Africans. We're not descendants of the Africans. We were here when the Africans were brought here on 3 separate occasions. They brought Africans here. First they brought them from the Ivory Coast, then they went and brought them all the way from near Sudan, and then they migrated here on their own because they came with a treaty from Morocco and set up in the 17th century. Muhammad Seti I, and he made a treaty with George Washington. So you had the black Moors came over from Morocco, you had the African slaves brought from the West Coast, and then you had the Nubian slaves who were brought over in the 1600s by Prince Charles the Navigator. So you had 3 groups of Africans who came here with 3 different characteristics about the way they look, and they mixed in with us who was already here. And that's why some of us look African, and some of us do have wavy hair, some of us have long noses, some of us have thick lips. It's a change taking place.
As a black Indian tribe, correct me if I'm saying this wrong.
Yeah, we don't like to be called black, but we'll live with it.
Now, are there other...
People don't understand.
Okay, now, are there other races that make up your tribe, and what is your position on racism?
Oh, yeah, because our tribe is broken up from everything from what do you call pure blood all the way straight down to, full blood all the way out. And the people intermarry, different races of people, they all belong to the same tribe. Yammassee, it's not restricted to any race. It's not a black thing, as they call it.
And that all, when the point of moving to Georgia was, of course, to be closer to the Native American landmarks. Our tribal roots. And that was the main issue.
That was the main purpose, yeah.
Okay.
We could have went to Florida, but that's Seminole. We could have went to North Carolina, but that's Cherokee. You follow?
Yeah.
We chose to be in Georgia because that is Yammassee.
Okay.
We could have went to Florida, but that's Seminole. We could have went to North Carolina, but that's Cherokee.
You follow?
Yeah.
We chose to be in Georgia because that is Yammassee.
Yeah.
We chose to be in Georgia because that is Yammassee. That is Yammassee.
Right. So basically, I just wanted you to explain the different elements of the organization and things, or the tribe, because it seems like that's the type of confusion that they try to keep in the minds of people.
Tribe is our national. That's what we are. That's our culture. We're Native Americans. That's where we are born. Some people have come into the tribe. They would call honorary members. Others of us who have been Native Americans our whole lives. Right? Now, within inside that, that's just what we are. We have the Masonic Lodge, the Wapian Grand Lodge, right? We have the Shriners, the Al-Makdi Shrine. We have the AEO was an Egyptian order, and we had Holy Tabernacle Ministries. We had the Egyptian Church of Christ. Those are two different churches, and the Holy Seed Baptist Synagogue. Those are three different churches that socialize with us. Not to mention we have people from the Ebenezer Baptist Church and Ethiopian Church. You follow? So we have different groups of people that make up this organization called the Wapians. You follow? And they have their own leaders, their own teachers, their own dialogue, their own beliefs, their own commitment, their own dress codes. Right?
Okay.
But that has nothing to do with us being Native American. Native American is what we are by nature, indigenous people. Regardless of what we accept as a religious belief, we have our own culture. You follow what I'm saying? Is that what you're talking about?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah. And they're trying to combine the two and make it look like it's, Native American is some type of organization. Native American is not an organization. It's what we are. Native American is not an organization. It's what we are.
Right.
We have always been.
Right.
We have always been. We was here before they got here. You know what I'm saying? So I'm strengthened by those that do love me. I got people behind me. I got people that I don't even know write me from all over the world. I get letters from everywhere in language, some languages I can't even read. I'm supported. It's in the United Nations. It's in Hague. It's in Brussels. It's in the Congo. It's in Liberia. It's in Ghana. It's in London. It's in Holland. It's in Trinidad. It's in Jamaica. It's in Barbados. It's spreading all across the world. They think this little small town that played this game don't realize this is becoming a world event.
Right.
And our jurisdiction is at the peak of all of it. And our jurisdiction is at the peak of all of it. And our jurisdiction is at the peak of all of it. The tip of the pyramid is our jurisdiction, and we have all the documents, all the laws, and all the evidence to confirm that we are Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. We are Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. We are Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, and I am the chief of that tribe, and we are what they would call Indian. Books, I scared the living heck out of these people because I'm so literate and on the growth of this organization, and then on top of that, our tribe. I am not the leader of all the Nuwapians. I am the chief of the Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, which also, by the way, comes up in the minutes for the 30th, right, and confirms it, all those confirmations. You follow? But they want to make me the leader so they can do this kingpin thing and do this RICO thing, which they don't have any legitimacy. Stop taking pledges of any form or any fashion. Stop collecting money in any form or any fashion. Stop taking pledges of any form or any fashion. Stop collecting money in any form or any fashion. And any other organization or any other group is out there professing to be working with me, I'm telling them to stop doing that.
Right.
Now, if we want to maintain our relationship as a family and a tribe, then work in accordance with everybody else. Stop all this individualism, and by all means, if you mean well, mean well. But if you're a con artist, it's going to come around. We got to do this. That's all we got left. If everybody comes together, those people who are not working with us, eventually the doors of Tamaray will be closed to them, the AEO will be closed to them, the Masonic Lodge will be closed to them, all involvement with us. Not. Those people who are not working with us, eventually the doors of Tamaray will be closed to them, the AEO will be closed to them, the Masonic Lodge will be closed to them, all involvement with us. People who are not working with us, eventually the doors of Tamaray will be closed to them, the AEO will be closed to them, the Masonic Lodge will be closed to them, all involvement with us. Not. They have every right to go on and do their own thing. They have every right to go on and do their own thing. Those people who are not working with us, eventually the doors of Tamaray will be closed to them, the AEO will be closed to them, the Masonic Lodge will be closed to them, all involvement with us. Not. They have every right to go on and do their own thing. This thing they're trying to make happen between me and Brother Latif is not real. You understand? Me and Brother Latif ain't got nothing against each other. I don't think Brother Latif sees himself as a higher chief than me. If the people want another organization so they can do what they feel like doing, I don't think he sees it that way, and I don't think he feels it that way, and neither do I. I think he sees one chief.
Right.
I think people want that because they want to do little things that I don't complain. They want to stay with polygamy. They want to keep wearing a star and crescent. They want to keep using, L on their name and things that I said move away from. They want to feel. People say I'm gonna travel with you wherever you go. Spiritually meaning, I travel the land wherever you go. When it comes down to taking a journey somewhere, all of a sudden they stop going with you and stop along the way and settle in a little part of your doctrine. Don't want to go any further because they like men. A lot of men who want polygamy and all that kind of stuff want to keep those old ways. And the women have fallen victim to that.
Right.
Because the family guidebook was brought us up to
date to what we're doing now. You see, so there's nothing negative between me and Latif. Washita falls in our family, but we're not the Washita. You see, so there's nothing negative between me and Latif. Washita falls in our family, but we're not the Washita. You see, so there's nothing negative between me and Latif. Washita falls in our family, but we're not the Washita.
Right.
We are Yammassee Native American Moors. That's our tribe. Yes, of the Creek Nation. And everybody who's with us will come up under that. Don't say to me, well, we want to make a peace treaty with you, want to make a friendly treaty. You ain't making nothing with me. Either you're with us or you make that with somebody else. You follow? You can go ahead and make that with the Washingtons in Louisiana, but you're not making any kind of peace either with us 100% or you're not with either with us. Either you're with us all the way or you're not with us none of the way.
Right. No, right.
We are Yammassee Native American Moors. That's our tribe. Yes, of the Creek Nation. And everybody who's with us will come up under that. Don't say to me, well, we want to make a peace treaty with you, want to make a friendly treaty. You ain't making nothing with me. Either you're with us or you make that with somebody else. You follow? You can go ahead and make that with the Washingtons in Louisiana, but you're not making any kind of peace either with us 100% or you're not with either with us. Either you're with us all the way or you're not with us none of the way.
Right. No, right.
We are Yammassee Native American Moors. That's our tribe. Yes, of the Creek Nation. And everybody who's with us will come up under that. Don't say to me, well, we want to make a peace treaty with you, want to make a friendly treaty. You ain't making nothing with me. Either you're with us or you make that with somebody else. You follow? You can go ahead and make that with the Washingtons in Louisiana, but you're not making any kind of peace either with us 100% or you're not with either with us. Either you're with us all the way or you're not with us none of the way.
Right.
But we are a tribe of Native Americans. Those not, listen, I'm not saying everybody that's in Wapping is a Native American. Some of them are not Native Americans, and they don't have to help us in the Native American part of this thing. Those that know that they are, then hurry up and get on the boat. Those that want to call themselves Nubians, those that want to call themselves Africans, those that want to call themselves Negroes, those that want to call themselves Latinos, whatever you want to call yourself. If you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? That's your prerogative. But our doctrine has been growing.
Richard, was it also true that the land in upstate New York that's mentioned in the indictments, that was also Native American land? That was also Native American land.
That's right. We had a reservation set up there, signs, pictures of it. Different tribes used to come up there. We used to have powwows up there. It was in Liberty, New York, and that's where we used to gather. We was dressing in Native American clothes. We had Native American music. We lived our culture up there before we came down here. It's not something we acquired when we got here. It's not no newfound idea. I was a Native American all my life. I was a Native American all my life. I was a Native American all my life. Regardless of what religion I got involved in, or what fraternity I got involved in, or what culture I studied, be it Masonics or the Egyptians or the Christians or the Muslims, I was still by birthright and by gene and genealogy a Native American, Yammassee Native American of the Creek Nation in the state of Georgia. From Georgia, we traced our family track and the railroad tracks all the way up to Massachusetts, from Massachusetts Indians to the Pico Indians, all the way back down to the Cherokee, all the way back down to the Creek Confederates, and then even over to Florida, where we found Chief John Horse, whose name was Juba, which was Ben York, my great-grandfather's brother, and he was down amongst the Seminoles in St. Augustine, where they recently found bones.
Okay.
And you can trace him out also, John Horse, they called him.
Okay.
Many people came down because we're a tribe of Indians.
Okay.
And tribes move, as tribes move from place to place. They're admitting that there's another chief from our tribe called Latif on one hand. They're admitting that there's another chief from our tribe called Latif on one hand. They're admitting that there's another chief. There's 4 or 5 different chiefs. They have the Shinnecock with us, the Cherokee with us. We have the Navajo with us. We have the Washita with us. These are different tribes, right? All belonging to, all Native Americans. You follow?
Right.
So when people heard that I, as the chief of one of the groups, Yammassee Native American Moors moved, some people started moving there, but other people had already moved down here to be close to the ancestors before me and had their own chiefs that they were under their chief. I'm not the chief of all in the Watkins. I'm not the chief of all Indians in the world. I'm not their sole leader. I'm not in control of everybody's minds or everybody's thoughts or everybody's finances or who sleeps with who or when they sleep with them. All that is bogus jargon that Seals and them came up with to establish a monster case.
Right. Okay. Dealing with the pledges and things of that nature.
Yes.
What is it? What are the pledges, and how can people out there better assist you in this time period dealing with your financially?
There's no pledges that I'm behind, right? There's only those people who want to send their stuff to Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, right? BIA number 208-1999. There's only those people who want to send their stuff to Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, right? BIA number 8-1999. There's only those people who want to send their stuff to the Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, right? BIA number 208-1999, and they send it in care of Malachi. But they're gonna make the money on it, make it in Malachi, York. Don't put the Z or L, just make it Malachi, York. And that's what that's our fundraising. Everybody else, a lot of people meant well. They had a lot of programs. They got a lot of, but they're not to send their money to those people. They're not to buy their tapes. If it's not coming out of my office or my people, don't buy their tapes. Don't participate in no pledges or any other type of thing that's going on out there because it's not coming from me.
Okay.
The two fellas, I don't know who they are, but I was told that they belong to the Washita tribe of number 215. I think they call themselves Mount Arafat, and they're under Chief Latif. And they're also called Nuwapian, but I am not over them, I am not their chief. But I am not over them, I am not their chief. But I am not over them, I am not their chief.
New York?
This is Maku, Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle, Chief of Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, BIA registry number 208/1999. That is when we registered with the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Our Constitution of Declaration of Indigenous Status has already been in existence since 1992. Yes, but they referred to me sometime as Malachi, and even to insult me, Dwight.
So are you saying you were never your arrest? The name that you were arrested under, Dwight York, is not your name?
That's not my name. And this Ben York also married Anna Maria of the a Washoe woman that made us Washita, who's under that number. We're 215, 1992 or 1993, if I'm not mistaken. That's
now
how registered. Yes.
Yes. Is this Mr. Malachi Z. York?
This is Maku, Chief Black Thunderbird Eagle, Chief of Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, BIA registry number 208/1999. That is when we registered with the Bureau of Indian Affairs. Our Constitution of Declaration of Indigenous Status has already been in existence since 1992. Yes, but they referred to me sometime as Malachi, and even to insult me, Dwight.
Yes.
Yes.
So what is it? You've written over 400 books, is that correct?
Yeah, about 408 books, and I'm still writing.
Okay.
And I've solved many problems. I dove into facts, nothing but facts. I'm not interested in opinions. I'm not interested in faiths. I'm not interested in beliefs. I talk about religion, whether it's talking about Christianity, Judaism, Islam, Buddhism, I don't care. I go into the facts of it. I've done intensive study, traveled around the world. I'm fluent in several languages, and I've translated books. That's what I do. They're so intimidated by the fact that which I teach is starting to spread like wildfire. It's bringing people to a certain amount of consciousness. The kind of consciousness it does is the people in the Nuwapian organization, as they call us, which is Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, the people in the Nuwapian organization, as they call us, which is Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, the people in the Nuwapian organization, as they call us, which is Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, are actually doctors, lawyers, policemen, firemen, politicians, teachers, lay persons, private vendors, restaurant owners, entertainers, movie stars, you name it. This is the fastest growing organization. It's not racial, it's not restricted to the blacks as SEALs and what have you believe. There's many people in our tribe, because the Native Americans have mixed in with so many different people in America, that we have different nationalities are blended in. So we have levels, whether you're full blood, whether you're pure blood, full blood, half blood, whole blood, you can still be up under the same banner of the tribe. So it's really a very racial thing that they're doing, and they're afraid, they're petrified of what I teach and how well it's working to civilize people.
So I guess being that, what is a Nuwapian?
I'm not going to ever define that word to anybody. You know why? Because that's the question I'm putting before them. You keep referring to us as Nuwapians. My question to them is, what is a Nuwapian? And if you say a follower of Malachi York, that's not it. That's not a definition. What is a Nuwapian? Because if you call a Christian a follower of Christ, it's because his name is Christ. So you can't call Nuwapians followers of Malachi, but they would be called Malachites, not Nuwapians. So now I'm not going to tell you all what Nuwapians is, because one day I want to use that in court to say you've been identifying us as a cult, a semi-religious cult, a fanatical cult, and using the word Nuwapian, don't know whether you're spelling with a B or a P, don't know what language it comes from, and don't know what it really means. You follow? Meanwhile, you keep throwing it in the public just to avoid using Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. Meanwhile, you keep throwing it in the public just to avoid using Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation. Meanwhile, you keep throwing it in the public just to avoid using Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation to identify that we tribes came here and infected it with their disease, or with their disease of hate and racism and war and drugs and pornography and all the things that they use against us that they brought here and established.
I heard about, I know the case was moved to Brunswick, Georgia, and I know the closing of the courtroom issue is because what I've read is that the Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation were invited by the Brunswick Downtown Development Authority to participate in a parade. What does that have anything to do with you? How does that have anything to do with your court case?
Well, what happened is the Judge Royal actually got involved because he felt that that was tainting the environment. See, he picks and chooses what taint means, right? They were invited down there as a tribe of Native Americans, and they clearly stated to the people there that under the umbrella of our Native American name, Yammassee, there are different organizations within us, like the Masonics, the Eastern Stars, the Shriners, the Maku Shrine Temple, the Egyptian Church of Christ, the AEO, Ancient Egyptian Order, the Orders of Melchizedek, and different people from different have their own fraternities that belong to our tribe. That under the umbrella of our Native American name, Yammassee, there are different organizations within us, like the Masonics, the Eastern Stars, the Shriners, the Maku Shrine Temple, the Egyptian Church of Christ, the AEO, Ancient Egyptian Order, the Orders of Melchizedek, and different people from different have their own fraternities that belong to our tribe. That under the umbrella of our Native American name, Yammassee, there are different organizations within us, like the Masonics, the Eastern Stars, the Shriners, the Maku Shrine Temple, the Egyptian Church of Christ, the AEO, Ancient Egyptian Order, the Orders of Melchizedek, and different people from different have their own fraternities that belong to our tribe. Have their own fraternities that belong to our tribe. That belong to our tribe. And that's how it was written up. And that's how it was written up. And that's how it was written up. That under the umbrella of our Native American name, Yammassee, there are different organizations within us, like the Masonics, the Eastern Stars, the Shriners, the Maku Shrine Temple, the Egyptian Church of Christ, the AEO, Ancient Egyptian Order, the Orders of Melchizedek, and different people from different have their own fraternities that belong to our tribe. And that's how it was written up.
This is definitely a battle.
It's definitely a battle. It's a war. So another Yammassee war. We had one in 1715.
Right.
We have another one now. Okay?
Sounds like you
We will triumph. Definitely. What do? The truth is going to come out. It's our time. I just want to say that to the family and those people out there who want the truth. All the Wapians, all of y'all, whether they use y'all in the case against us or not, you're still family. We still love y'all. Come home. Let's beat the devil.
Go ahead, Maku.
Go ahead. Hotep.
And I know that throughout this whole entire time, the tribe, the Yammassee Native American Moors of the Creek Nation, have always been there in your support.